The call came on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, the kind of afternoon where nothing dramatic is supposed to happen. I was sitting in my car outside a grocery store engine still running, mentally debating whether I really needed oat milk or if regular milk would survive another week. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. "Ma'am," the voice said, careful and a little tense. "This is Valley Federal Credit Union. I'm calling because your husband is here, and he's not alone." I laughed, actually laughed, because that sentence didn't sound like the beginning of a disaster. It sounded like the setup to a bad joke. I said, "Okay." And there was a pause. Then the banker continued slower now. "He's here with a woman who looks exactly like you." That was the moment everything shifted. Not exploded. Shifted. Like the ground quietly moving under your feet while everyone else keeps walking. I asked her to repeat it. She did. Same words, same calm tone. And then she added, "They're trying to access your joint accounts and your personal trust." I remember staring through the windshield watching a shopping cart roll across the parking lot in the wind, thinking, wow, this is either a mistake or my life is about to become unrecognizable. My name is Lena Brooks. At least it was then. I was 36 head of operations at a regional logistics firm, first in my family to make real money, the kind that doesn't vanish when one paycheck is late. I grew up being told I was too quiet, too serious, too focused. Teachers underestimated me. Managers talked over me. Even my husband Marcus liked to joke that I was book smart but not street smart. Yeah, that part still stings. The banker explained that Marcus had presented authorization forms notarized with my signature, and the woman with him had my driver's license, my photo, my name, my face apparently close enough to pass if you didn't know me well. I told the banker very clearly that I was not there. I had not signed anything, and that what they were looking at was fraud. Then I asked her to stall, not to accuse, not to confront, just to delay. She said she could buy me maybe 40 minutes. I hung up and sat there for a second. No screaming, no tears. Just this weird, quiet realization settling into my chest. This wasn't random. This wasn't impulsive. This was planned. I called my sister first. She asked if I was okay. I said no, but I will be. Then I called my attorney. Then I drove. The bank was downtown, one of those older buildings with marble floors and heavy doors, the kind of place that makes money feel important. I walked in like I belonged there, because I did. I'd built those accounts dollar by dollar, hour by hour, working weekends, while Marcus talked about his next big idea that never quite materialized. The banker who'd called me met my eyes immediately. Relief flashed across her face. She led me toward a private office, and that's when I saw them through the glass. Marcus relaxed in his chair, smiling like this was just another errand. And next to him, a woman with my hair, my height, my skin tone, my posture. She even crossed her legs the way I do. It was surreal, like watching someone play you in a low-budget movie. I walked in, just opened the door and stepped inside. Marcus turned first. His smile collapsed so fast it almost made a sound. The woman froze. The air got heavy. I said, "Hey, I hope I'm not interrupting." The banker played it perfectly, acting. Surprised, acting, confused. Marcus stood up halfway, then sat back down like his legs forgot what to do. "Lena," he said, forcing a laugh, "what are you doing here?" I looked at the woman. I think that's my line. She didn't speak. She looked at Marcus. That told me everything I needed to know. I asked her name. She said quietly, "Rachel." I asked her why she was pretending to be me. She said Marcus told her I'd agreed that I needed someone to stand in because I was out of town, that it was legal, that wealthy people do things like this all the time. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Marcus jumped in, talking fast, now explaining, reframing, minimizing. He said he was just trying to move money around, that he wanted to surprise me with an investment opportunity, that I was overreacting. And that's when something in me snapped clean and sharp. Not anger. Clarity. I said, "You stole my identity. You hired someone to impersonate me. You tried to empty accounts you didn't build, and you thought I'd call this a misunderstanding." My attorney walked in right on cue. Then security. Then the police. The room shifted again, this time for real. Marcus kept talking as they cuffed him. about embarrassment, about reputation, about how this would ruin us. I didn't say another word to him, not then. Later, the details came out. This wasn't the first attempt. Small transfers over months, forged signatures, a missing ID I hadn't noticed because I trusted him, and then the part that made my blood run cold. He'd been asking about life insurance, accident coverage, beneficiaries. This wasn't just about money, it was about control. The investigation uncovered someone else behind it. A man who specialized in finding insecure partners, especially men married to successful women, and convincing them they deserved more. He never signed anything himself. He just whispered, guided, disappeared. I testified. I spoke up. I refused to stay quiet just to look dignified. And yeah, people talked. Some said I should have known. Some said I was lucky. Some asked why I didn't protect myself better. But here's what I learned. Silence protects the wrong people. Marcus went to prison. So did his handler. Not forever, but long enough to matter. Long enough to send a message. I rebuilt my life slowly. Changed my name. Moved apartments. Learned how to trust my instincts again. Learned that being underestimated is only a weakness if you believe it yourself. And sometimes I think about that moment in the parking lot, oat milk decision hanging in the air, my phone buzzing. One call, one sentence. If the bank hadn't called, I don't know where I'd be. If I hadn't listened, I know where I wouldn't be. So, if you're watching this and something feels off in your own life, in your own relationships, don't ignore that feeling. Ask questions. Protect yourself. Speak up sooner than you think you need to. And tell me what you think. Was I right to let the law handle it, or should I have handled it privately? Where do we draw the line between loyalty and self-preservation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them, and I want to know what you would have done.